My name's Natalie McCarthy, and I'm a Detective Sergeant with Gwent Police, and at the moment my job is primarily dealing with rape and serious sexual assaults. So I joined the job back in 2001. In October 2000 I went to a female recruitment evening that Gwent Police held in the old headquarters, and I was hooked, and by the following August I was stepping into the steps of Gwent Police, about to embark on a completely different career. My background is retail. So I was 30 years old when I joined. I had two children, two small children, and it was going to be a big challenge for me. However, I was passionate about joining the job, had been for a long time, so I was excited and nervous all in one. So I started my career in uniform. I spent 2 years in uniform. However, CID was a world for me, and I was able to get myself an attachment within the CID department after being in the job for only 2 years, which was great, and I've never looked back. So I spent all the rest of my service in CID. I then took a bit of a career break, which was a bit of a shock, I think, to some people. However, I found myself at 41 expecting my third child, which was a bit of a shock to the system, considering the break. So I decided to take a bit of a break out from policing, and Central Recruitment fully supported me in doing that. After about 2 years, I started to get itchy feet and I wanted to come back. And of course, obviously the process takes a long time. So I was back within about 3.5 years, back doing a job I loved. And I was just as passionate about the job as I was the first day I joined. So since I've been back just over 4 years. I've managed to get myself promoted to Detective Sergeant, and now I'm a dedicated DS dealing with rape and serious sexual offences. I've spent 1.5 years back on response as a uniform PS, and I've also worked on a department whose main aim is protecting the reputation of Gwent Police. Call it line of duty, but without all the drama. Okay, so Natalie at home is a mum to 3, soon to be a grandparent. My daughter is going to be having a granddaughter in September. My youngest boy is 10, and my oldest child is 32. So you do the maths there, but the 10-year-old keeps me quite young. I think with policing, you know, you have got to get that work-life balance right, and it can be done. I mean, Gwent Police recognises more than ever the flexibility with your home life, and having children and working and trying to get promoted or trying to get on specialist departments is difficult, but there's a lot of people in this organisation that will help you do that, and they've helped me. I've certainly had my mentors along the way. I did find it a bit difficult because obviously, you know, when you go home from work, you kind of can switch off, but when you're learning, you don't. So I would have to go home and get the books out again and study a bit more. But the job does give you time to do that. We got protected learning time now, more than ever. It recognises that we have to be able to give our employees the time to study, especially when they've got stuff going on in their home lives, so they wouldn't necessarily have the time to do that. So yeah, if you get the balance right, if you know what you're coming into, if you know what, you know, your projected work life is going to be for like 10, 15 weeks, then you just plan. It's good to have family behind you, obviously, because they can support you in doing that, and I did have that, which was good because you do need it. Policing has got so much opportunity. It's not just about being on response. I mean, we all start there, and that's the best grounding for anybody who wants to be in this job. But there's so many other roles you can do, especially within CID. You know, we've got a murder team, we've got a rape and serious sexual offences team, we've got domestic violence teams. You know, that's just to name a few. And response, they've got a number of opportunities for people on there. You know, we've got firearms department, dog handlers department, neighbourhood teams. You know, the opportunities within policing are huge, and I would say if you want to do it, go for it. Because at 30, you've got to remember, you've still got at least 30 years to go before you actually retire. So why not come and do a job that you want to do every day, and you come to work smiling, as opposed to, you know, having to go to a job that you really don't enjoy. So it can be difficult, especially when you're 30, and especially if you have dependents. You know, you're coming into a role, you might be in a job where you're on a bigger, higher pay rise, but you don't like it. But I think you've just got to take into consideration that when you do join the job, after a couple of years, obviously your wages start to increase. And you know, before you know it, you could be back up to a very good wage within a number of years. So I would just say, if you're able to manage that, then go for it, because obviously you could be doing a job that you really want to do and you're going to be happy about doing. It is hard, because I would just want to find the right word, because it's like I've got a number of words going around in my head, and I'm just thinking, you know, what has it been like for me? It's just been amazing. I know it's just been, you know, is it great? Is it amazing too big a word? It's just been such an experience, such a good experience. I don't know, has it been a privilege? It's been a privilege. It really has. I've come into a job which I love, and I've loved every minute of it. And I almost feel privileged that I got it, even though I work for it.